It's official. Third-party cookies going away. Maybe. More than 3 years after Google said it would phase out the third-party cookie in its Chrome browser, the advertising industry is still talking about its primary method of identifying audiences online going away. But that's because the third-party cookie is still very much not gone. A week after Google issued its latest timeline for deprecating the third-party cookie in its Chrome browser, a few hundred programmatic marketers gathered here in Palm Springs, California for the Digiday Programmatic Marketing Summit. And the cookie was a major topic of conversation on stage and off stage. So what did brand and agency executives have to say about Google planning to deprecate the third-party cookie for 1% of Chrome users in the first quarter of 2024 before fully rolling it out across the user base in the second half of 2024? Well,
Google has said this time and again about their timeline. It will get pushed again. We are on the third iteration of their solution. I've seen others that may or may not have any sort of scale when you're going one-to-one with a smaller publisher pre-bid. All of these things are still TBD.
It's kind of like crying wolf, so to speak. Is this it? Is this real? I think we're getting much closer to reality when they make that kind of announcement. And frankly, like 1% is a significant, anywhere else 1% is probably not huge, but 1% for Google Chrome is like a significant chunk.
Despite the skepticism that Google will actually hold to its 2024 deadline after 2 previous postponements, brands and agencies aren't exactly waiting for the digital ad Goliath to pull the plug. Well, some are, but not all.
I think most of our advertisers have moved past it in a lot of ways. We had that great town hall yesterday. A lot of people were talking about how, the companies that have the resources and have really strong CRMs have already moved on, have built their own systems. They've built their own, they're able to match customers back to, exposures and do that through our closed wall system. And then it's just about finding the right partner to activate that with, whether it's Trade Desk or LiveRamp or et cetera.
In many instances, nobody's truly ready until it happens, right? Like we won't know the full impact and implications in the day-to-day until we start kind of like phasing cookies out. But I do see our clients being much better informed and much better connected to alternative solutions.
Part of the problem is the cookieless identifiers offering an alternative to the third-party cookie are not yet a panacea.
We're all still trading on the cookie. A lot of people have been testing different identifiers, which is great. The problem with all of the identifiers is they're not quite universal. It's almost as if, as an industry, we need to make up our mind on just a select few or one. So we've done a lot of testing, and I think that's helped us find scale where we had issues with scale, but it's not completely resolved. I don't think we'll have it resolved until it's fully gone.
I think what the key challenge is right now is there's so many. Until we kind of standardize on like it doesn't even have to be a single kind of solution or a single go forward, but at least if we can standardize on like 2 or 3, because right now it's still the wild, wild west. There's still so many different solutions and so many different opportunities to choose from. I think there will be 2 or 3 that kind of rise to the surface and become kind of the standard. Now, who those 2 or 3 are, I think we're probably going to find out actually in short order here with everything that's going on right now.
During behind closed door town hall sessions, brand and agency executives said they want one scalable, ubiquitous, cookieless solution. But what they've been presented with are a slew of unique identifiers that are not sufficiently compatible, scalable, or reconcilable.
I need one scalable, proven method that's not Google. I need it 100% scalable, ubiquitous. I think that we tend to actually want a monolithic solution, and yet we're terrified of a monolithic solution. And I think that is something that's really getting in the way of it, because we say, okay, well, is it LiveRamp? Is it the Trade Desk? Is it UID 2.0? Is it whatever Google's trying to do with grouping people together? The problem is that we would all prefer to choose one so that we don't have interoperability issues.
So that's not ideal, but there are other options available, like cohort-based targeting.
Cohorts are becoming a really big topic, at least at Group M. So to give you a great example, cookies and identities, we spent so much time talking about like the individual, and we haven't spent enough time talking about cohorts and more privacy safe ways of understanding people. So as an example, a lot of the people here at this conference, right, demographically as individuals, they look very different from me. But the fact that they are here with me means we share something in common, right? So that's kind of where we expect the future to move into, at least at Group M.
An advertiser matching its first-party data set against a publisher's first-party data set is another option.
We're now, able to start building our own data sets so that the reliance on older cookies, which were never really, that reliable anyway, is less.
I don't know if there's a better identifier than a form of first-party data. I think most publishers out there have a swath of their own first-party data, and if we can kind of skip the middlemen of universal identifiers and go directly to those publishers to match exposures and our own client first-party data sets in a very clean way, aka in a clean room, we're in a great position to do so. And we do so more efficiently, and efficiency is about cost, and we do so more effectively, and effectively is about match rates of those audiences. And we've proven time and again that when a publisher has worked with us in these clean room environments, that we do better. The job gets done without the reliance of a cookie or a third-party identifier.
All of this seems to put advertisers and agencies in something of a holding pattern between Google not yet eliminating the third-party cookie and cookieless solutions not yet being fully baked, leaving open the possibility that a year from now, the situation could be very much the same. But maybe, just maybe, this time will be different.
I definitely think it will have an impact. I think it's going to actually probably press some of the identifier solutions to expand because more people are going to buy into it. You're going to see a lot more publishers integrating, which I think everybody's making steps in the right direction, but we really need the sell side to help propel us in that direction. And I think whenever inevitably advertisers start seeing less scale and poor performance, everybody's going to adopt and we're going to really push for it.